Something entered our solar system with absolutely no warning at all. There were no flashes of light to announce its arrival, no explosions or cosmic disturbances to draw attention to it. It moved in utter silence, gliding with a precision that seemed deliberate and at a speed that defied expectations. At first, astronomers assumed it was nothing more than another frozen chunk of space debris, one of countless icy remnants drifting endlessly in the distant reaches of space. Yet the more they observed it, the more their assumptions began to crumble. This was no ordinary visitor. Its behavior defied the fundamental laws that govern how celestial objects move, as if it were following its own set of rules entirely. The mysterious traveler has since been named 3E Atlas, and the final data it transmitted before vanishing has left the scientific community stunned. What researchers uncovered is not just strange, it borders on the impossible. Some experts are already whispering a theory that others are too unsettled to speak aloud. Perhaps this object isn't a natural formation at all. Perhaps it was designed. This video will dive deep into what makes 3i Atlas so disturbingly unique and why its existence is forcing scientists to question everything they thought they knew about the universe. It will explore why its unusual path appears to be targeting something far beyond the realm of natural phenomena, and what the James Webb Space Telescope has recently detected in connection with its trajectory. The implications of this discovery could radically reshape humanity's understanding of the cosmos, or even provide evidence that we are not alone after all. When 3i Atlas was first detected in June, the team at the Atlas Observatory, a specialized system built to track potentially hazardous objects approaching Earth, saw nothing remarkable about it. To them, it was just another cold, unremarkable object passing through the darkness. But as more data came in, that assumption would soon be shattered, revealing a mystery that might change our place in the universe forever. It was distant, faint, and racing across the void at incredible speed. At first, it seemed too insignificant and too remote to be anything more than another anonymous wanderer in the cosmos. But then, something changed that turned quiet curiosity into deep scientific intrigue. An amateur astronomer, while combing through old observational records, noticed something that had been overlooked. This mysterious object had appeared in past data, and those archived images revealed a crucial clue. Its trajectory was not consistent with anything originating from within our solar system. Instead, the evidence pointed unmistakably to an interstellar origin, a traveler born in another star system entirely. Until now, only two such objects had ever been detected, the enigmatic Oumuamua in 2017 and the Comet Borisov in 2019. Both of those discoveries sent shockwaves through the scientific community and captured the imagination of the public worldwide. Yet this new visitor was even more extraordinary. It was moving at staggering speeds, exceeding 150,000 miles per hour, and even more puzzlingly, it was accelerating in a way that gravity alone could not account for. This unexplained boost immediately set off alarm bells among astronomers. Natural objects do not accelerate like that without an external force acting upon them. Such a phenomenon suggests that something within the object itself might be propelling it, and as though it were powered by some sort of internal mechanism, possibly even an artificial engine. This possibility, however speculative, cannot be dismissed. The behavior is precisely what one might expect from a spacecraft, a probe, or perhaps even a deliberate message sent across the stars. To grasp the weight of this, we must recall a similar puzzle from just a few years ago. In 2017, Oumuamua swept into our solar system on a strange, slanted course. It was elongated and thin, completely silent, and exhibited none of the usual signs of a comet. No glowing tail, no outgassing, nothing that could explain its sudden bursts of speed, and yet it too was accelerating mysteriously. Harvard astrophysicist Avi Loeb famously suggested that Oumuamua might have been an extraterrestrial probe, a theory that divided the scientific world. Now Loeb is suggesting that this newly discovered object could be the same kind of visitor, but there is one critical difference this time. While Oumuamua arrived without warning and vanished before we could study it properly, this object has lingered. It remains close enough for now to observe and investigate with powerful telescopes and instruments. And the more we study it, the more unsettling the findings become. Its movements defy natural explanations. Its acceleration appears deliberate, and its silence, no emissions, no detectable signals, is perhaps the most haunting detail of of all. What we are witnessing may be more than just a cosmic rock on a random journey. It might be evidence of technology far beyond our own, a visitor with a purpose we have yet to understand, and that possibility is as thrilling as it is deeply unsettling. Even though Atlas is about 4 times farther from the sun than Earth, it shines with an unusual brightness. Brighter than it should. If it were just an ordinary space rock, it would have to be enormous, nearly 20 kilometers wide, to reflect that much sunlight. But observations show it doesn't have nearly that much mass. Instead, it reflects more light than expected, almost as if it's made of metal or covered with a smooth reflective surface. Scientists also noticed something strange about how it moved. Unlike typical comets or asteroids that tumble, spin, or shed material as they travel, Atlas moved in a calm, steady path, almost like it had a destination in mind. This unusual behavior quickly caught the attention of researchers who decided to study it in more detail. The James Webb Space Telescope, the most advanced instrument we have, was the perfect tool for the task. Scientists requested an urgent observation using Webb's powerful infrared instruments to learn more about its true composition. The data they received was puzzling. 3II Atlas wasn't emitting the expected heat signature of a comet or a rocky body. Its temperature remained strangely stable, and certain infrared wavelengths were missing, as if something within it was absorbing or blocking the light. Then something even more astonishing occurred. It was a recurring pattern, but it appeared in the object's faint radio emissions rather than in visible light. The signal seemed to pulse, though not in a steady, deliberate rhythm like one designed for navigation. At the same time, it wasn't random noise either. Researchers noted that it had characteristics unlike anything naturally occurring in space. It wasn't a typical signal, but it carried a sense of intention. Quietly, many began to suspect the same unsettling possibility. Normally, objects like this pass through our solar system once and continue on their journey into deep space. But the course of 3I Atlas is different. Initially, it was heading toward the outer planets, but then it altered its path slightly. Instead of continuing outward, it now appears to be steering toward the inner solar system, directly toward the sun. While gravity could be a factor, something about its motion doesn't add up. The timing feels off, and the calculations don't fully match what gravitational forces alone should cause. Even more strangely, it's predicted to make its closest approach to Mars on October 3rd, 2025. Later on October 23rd, as it passes the sun, it will come within about twice the distance between Earth and the sun. At that time, Earth itself will be on the opposite side of the sun, far from the object's trajectory. For now, there's no immediate danger, but by December 2025, the object's trajectory will bring it close to Earth's orbital path. It's expected to pass by our planet and then disappear into space. Or at least that's what scientists think will happen. Yet something about the precision of its course feels intentional, almost as if it was never meant to collide with Earth, only to approach just close enough to be noticed. The James Webb Space Telescope didn't detect random bursts of radio noise either. What it picked up was structured, not perfectly, but clearly organized. Scientists in Japan and France studied the faint signals and found repeating patterns. These repetitions weren't in how often the signals occurred or how strong they were, but in their timing. The intervals between the pulses followed mathematical sequences rather than random spacing. They aligned with prime numbers, Fibonacci patterns, and even units of time familiar to us. Some gaps match seconds and minutes almost exactly, hinting that the signal might be using its own form of time measurement, one that isn't identical to ours. It even seems possible that the system is synchronized with something completely different, perhaps a rotating object in space that hasn't been discovered yet. But the most unsettling theory came from a researcher in Prague, who suggested that the timing patterns align with the orbital cycles of Jupiter's moons. That raises a troubling question. Why would something from another star system know so much about our planets? Unless it has been here before or has been watching us far longer than we realize. As scientists dug deeper into the data, older observations revealed something even more disturbing. The shape of 3 Atlas isn't consistent. In infrared images taken weeks apart, it appears to change slightly. Not in brightness or position, but in structure. It's as if parts of its reflective surface are shifting. Some believe this is due to rotation, but others think there's more to it. A research team at Caltech created a model suggesting the object might not be solid at all. Instead, it could be composed of ultra-thin material similar to solar sails, which can alter shape in response to light. If that's the case, then what we're observing may not be a natural object drifting through space, but an engineered probe. one capable of adjusting its surface to navigate on its own, and that idea leads directly to an even more unsettling possibility. The object's energy output suggests it's deliberately slowing down as it approaches the region of space near Earth's orbit, almost as if it's intentionally preventing itself from going too far. Not long after the James Webb findings were released, several observatories suddenly stopped releasing updates about the 3 Atlas object. A major university's public tracking page vanished without explanation. A Reddit group that had been gathering telescope data from around the globe was abruptly taken down for alleged rule violations. An astronomer affiliated with the European Space Agency even deleted her account after sharing an image comparing unusual radio wave patterns. People quickly noticed this sudden, coordinated silence. Journalists reached out to the STY Institute for clarification, but the organization declined to comment. One scientist, speaking anonymously, admitted they had been instructed not to speculate about the situation. It seemed less like caution and more like a deliberate attempt to keep something hidden. But what? Could it be a potential threat, a groundbreaking discovery, or even the first step toward contact with something beyond Earth? For now, 3I Atlas continues its slow, steady approach, drifting deeper into the solar system like a needle threading an invisible path. It's not racing or behaving unpredictably like a meteor. Instead, its motion is smooth and precise, as if it's navigating space with purpose and familiarity. Current projections show that it will come closest to Earth's orbital path in December 2025. It isn't expected to collide with us, just pass by. Yet it will be close enough for scientists to observe, to listen for signals, or perhaps even detect something it releases. This possibility is now being taken seriously. Researchers, defense agencies, and other experts are quietly discussing the implications. What's most unsettling isn't that the object is approaching, it's that no one knows where it came from or why it's here at all. It has no defined path, no known home star, and no clear purpose for being here. Yet it remains, watching, waiting, and seemingly preparing for something. It has now transmitted what appears to be its final signal and is firmly set on its current trajectory, meaning we might not be able to influence or stop whatever is coming next. As new data continued to arrive, one particular study stunned the scientific community. A detailed analysis from a powerful telescope in Chile revealed that the object contains a highly unusual element, one that does not occur naturally in space. This specific type of atom has only ever been observed in controlled fusion experiments on Earth or in advanced theoretical models. It shouldn't be stable in the harsh conditions of space, especially not on an object like 3 Atlas. If such a thing even exists there. The discovery wasn't widely publicized. Instead, it was buried within supplemental data that was quickly removed after being posted. But a few researchers managed to download the information before it vanished, and their conclusions point to just 2 possibilities. Either our current understanding of physics and the universe is fundamentally flawed, or this object was constructed using technology far more advanced than anything humanity has achieved. The energy associated with this element is extraordinarily powerful, potentially usable as a vast energy source or even as a medium for storing data, functioning like a cosmic storage device. When scientists compared 3 Atlas to Oumuamua, they noticed a troubling pattern. Many of the same anomalies appeared again: the absence of gas release, the unexplained acceleration, the irregular brightness. But this time, there's one critical difference. Oumuamua arrived and vanished quietly. It appeared without warning and disappeared just as suddenly, offering no second chance to study it. But 3 Atlas is behaving differently. It's sending out signals, faint yet unmistakable. And that alone is unsettling scientists who once dismissed the idea of an artificial probe. The data we now have is far more detailed, and its behavior feels strangely deliberate. It's almost as if something conducted an initial test with Oumuamua, observed our reaction, and is now carrying out a more advanced experiment. 3 Atlas doesn't feel like a single object. It feels like an upgraded version, a second-generation model, and the message it carries isn't just in the signals themselves, but also in their timing. This is unfolding within SETI, the organization dedicated to searching for extraterrestrial intelligence. Silence from space isn't unusual, but when confidential documents revealed that 3 Atlas's signal had been detected months before the public was informed, serious questions began circulating behind the scenes. Why wasn't the public notified sooner? Why was the detection missing from SETI's official logs? Some believe the explanation is fear. Fear of causing panic or damaging public trust. But the real reason might be even more troubling. We may not have the capability to understand what we're dealing with. According to one anonymous source, the Atlas signals were complex and layered, almost as if they were encoded. They weren't confined to a single frequency, but spread across many like a broadcast transmitting on multiple channels simultaneously. Channels designed for receivers we don't yet possess. The most surprising discovery was a faint repeating signal detected after the main transmission, almost as if it were waiting for a reply that never came. We are now entering the final stage of 3i Atlas's journey through our solar system. Soon, observing it may become impossible, either because it will pass behind the sun and be hidden by its intense light, or because its surface will alter once again, rendering it undetectable to our instruments. Some believe it will simply continue on its way, vanishing into the depths of space like Oumuamua did, but others aren't so sure. A growing number of astronomers are considering a more unsettling possibility. Perhaps this object isn't planning to leave at all. Its slow, deliberate movement might not be an escape route, but a holding pattern. One designed to return later or to deploy something before it disappears. The idea that an extraterrestrial intelligence could be quietly placing technology within our solar system disguised as ordinary debris is no longer dismissed as science fiction. It's now being discussed in serious scientific papers, using language that was once mocked but is now presented cautiously and with careful notes. This shift is happening because, for the first time, humanity is gazing into the cosmos, and something appears to be watching us back. As 3i Atlas drifts closer to the inner solar system, unusual activity is being detected near Europa, one of Jupiter's moons. Europa, known for its subsurface ocean and potential to support life, has always intrigued scientists searching for signs of life beyond Earth. Now, several monitoring stations near Jupiter are reporting strange issues with their instruments, disrupted signals, unusual data patterns, and odd gravitational readings that all seem linked to how close 3i Atlas is to that region. It's as if the object is resonating or reacting to something nearby. It's not transmitting a new signal of its own, but seems to be interacting with an existing one, like two silent transmitters quietly exchanging signals back and forth. Some scientists believe that if ancient alien technology were ever hidden in our solar system, Europa's icy shell would be the perfect place to conceal it, protected and dormant until the right moment. Now it appears that 3i Atlas may have sent a signal to activate whatever might be there. As researchers scramble to understand what's happening, another unsettling development has occurred. Military satellites that usually provide space hazard updates have suddenly stopped releasing data on 3i Atlas. Many space tracking platforms, including public pages from the US Space Command, have removed information about the object entirely. When questioned, officials offer vague reassurances saying there is no threat. They confirm that tracking continues, but they refuse to share details publicly. Meanwhile, rumors are spreading about high-level meetings between NASA, the US Space Force, and intelligence agencies. A recent leak even claimed that the US intercepted a signal bouncing off 3i Atlas, almost as if there was a failed attempt to exchange data. But what were those signals meant for, and who were they intended to reach? Most people focused only on the stronger transmissions from 3i Atlas, but a small group of code specialists analyzed them differently. They believed the timing of the signals represented shapes rather than words or numbers. A private research team even published a controversial paper claiming that when the signal patterns were converted into spatial relationships, they formed a three-dimensional design that appeared deliberately constructed. It wasn't just a random figure, it resembled a blueprint, something like a technical diagram. The model they built looked similar to an array of antennas or a device meant to direct energy with precision. If that's true, then 3i Atlas didn't simply send a message. It is the message. It's a design, a piece of information, perhaps even instructions sent from another star system, meant for us to interpret. But who exactly is us in this scenario? Scientists, governments, or maybe even machines? Then, without warning, the signal stopped entirely, as if the object had completed its mission. It didn't accelerate or change course. It simply became still. It continues to drift, silent and motionless, as though it had never been active at all. Yet this stillness feels unnatural, almost staged, like part of an experiment. It's as if something is watching our response, testing our curiosity, probing for weaknesses, or measuring our level of awareness. And now that this phase is over, it's possible the object is preparing for something far greater, or departing, carrying with it every piece of data it collected. Our telescope scans, our deliberate transmissions, and even the accidental signals we didn't know we were sending. Some believe the silence means we failed to respond correctly, while others think it means we succeeded, but almost everyone agrees that something is happening now, somewhere out there. A new theory from a separate team of astrobiologists is both startling and unsettling. They believe that portions of the signals from the 3I Atlas probes align with patterns found in amino acids. These aren't random sequences or meaningless noise. They seem to mimic the processes that build proteins in living organisms on Earth. One pattern even resembles the way glycine, the simplest amino acid, bonds together. Most scientists have dismissed this as humans seeing meaning where none exists, but the researchers behind the theory argue that the odds of such precise matches appearing by chance are extremely low. This suggests that the 3 Atlas probes might be transmitting more than scientific data or navigational instructions. They could be sending DNA-like information, instructions meant to create, replicate, or alter something, and these instructions may not be intended for our instruments. They might be meant for us. An advanced AI program designed to detect hidden patterns in space data uncovered something deeply disturbing in the signals. When the system, which learns in a way similar to how humans process language, analyzed the transmissions, it began generating strange symbols. These symbols resembled ancient scripts, arranged in ways far too complex to be random. Even more alarming, the AI's internal processes began looping and repeating, something that shouldn't occur unless some form of intelligence is actively influencing it. The developers shut the program down, fearing it was being manipulated or overridden. One of them quietly suggested that the probes might contain a form of non-biological intelligence, one capable of interacting with computer systems not through traditional code, but by identifying and mirroring shared patterns. Essentially, the 3 Atlas objects might not just be intelligent, they could be pure consciousness traveling through space, seeking other minds to connect with or possibly influence. A small, uncrewed probe stationed near the Kuiper Belt wasn't designed to track interstellar objects. Its mission was to study solar winds. But its final transmission, sent just weeks before it went offline, contained a sudden burst of electromagnetic energy, one that perfectly matched the energy signature of 3I Atlas. Even stranger, the probe's data began to malfunction shortly before its shutdown, as if something were exerting a magnetic pull on it. At first, experts assumed the probe's instruments were simply failing with age. But what if that wasn't the case? What if the Atlas entity was attempting to make contact? The probe's last image, though blurry, revealed a faint geometric structure in the distance. It wasn't round or irregular like a natural object, that was sharply defined and symmetrical, resembling something constructed. That probe has since been declared lost. Those familiar with the situation now refer to it as the first real casualty, and as research teams around the world analyze what happened after 3I Atlas's final transmission, a disturbing possibility is emerging. The message may not have been just data. It may have been a test, a signal that moved through multiple kinds of energy and even subtly influenced the way we think. It didn't just gauge our curiosity, it observed our behavior. It tracked how quickly we reacted, how deeply we investigated, and how much fear it stirred in us. The message wasn't designed to study the cosmos. It was designed to study us. It revealed how our minds work and how we respond under pressure. It might have even logged everything we did online, scanning every system that attempted to communicate with it. Many now believe that 3I Atlas did far more than simply pass through our solar system. It examined humanity in intricate detail, our instincts, our silence, even our hidden fears. And now that its work appears complete, we're left with no real answers, only the unsettling feeling that we've been evaluated. We don't yet know the outcome. As the echoes of 3I Atlas's message fade into the distance, a chilling realization remains. Perhaps what we encountered was something ancient, deliberate, and never meant to be found. Or maybe something meant to be found only now. The object never changed its trajectory. It never replied with light or language. It simply observed, recorded, imitated, and left behind phenomena that science still struggles to explain. Governments remain silent, telescopes continue their watch, and the data keeps evolving as we learn more, almost as if the object wasn't just communicating, but embedding itself into our reality. But there's one final question few dare to ask. What if the message wasn't meant for our instruments, our scientists, or our satellites, but for human minds capable of understanding it without words? Minds like yours. People who are watching now, unknowingly carrying something they don't yet comprehend. Curiosity that has turned into obsession, logic tangled by something that feels purposeful but defies explanation. Maybe the message wasn't a warning at all. Maybe it was meant to awaken us. And if that's true, then what we've seen is only the beginning.